Right then guys, if you end up with gaps like this, the best thing you can do with this is fill them with foam. We will now leave this until the morning. Welcome back YouTube to another CB Carpentry episode. And today I'm going to be trying out a new camera slider. So now starting at this end, the camera slider's now moving along and I'm going to tell you all about plastering. So if you're a DIY princess, a flat pack queen, a flat pack king, whatever kind of DIY you are and you want to learn how to just patch in something like this, is for you, my friend. So we've put this plasterboard in a previous episode. We've filled the gaps with foam and now we're just going to chisel that off. To now make that as flat as possible. And then we're going to take this scrim tape and we're going to scrim up these joints. This is what I'm planning to do, is feather this out slightly. So today I'm going to be trying out something new. I have brought, well, I already owned it, this shoulder strap. So we are going to turn this on. We're going to set this to video. Right then guys, we've swapped cameras and we now have the GoPro on the shoulder. Hopefully the GoPro can see all we need to see. Right, is that on my shoulder enough? Fingers crossed it is. So guys, all you're going to need, I have an SDS just because I have this SDS attachment for my SDS drill. But you guys will be absolutely fine just using a normal drill. We are out here in the garden. We need to get ourselves some plaster. Be very careful with this stuff, guys. When it comes to mixing up, I'm going to mix up in this. We are really not going to want much, which is a shame to open a whole bag for this, but it is what it is. So I'm going to say we're going to do something today. We're going to one coat this. It shouldn't take more than 5, hopefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try and keep all your scoops the same, but it is what it is. It can't always be consistent. So that is that dealt with, done with. Not gonna lie, it feels like you guys are slipping off my shoulder. Let's try and adjust you. Hopefully that is betterer. We now need to mix up. So for that, we require H20. So let's take this drill and let's go get some water. Today we're going to want some cold. We're not washing the van. Right. Ideally you want to add water, then you mix, but this is the way round it's landed for me because we've not been thinking. That should be enough. Let's give it a roll. That is far too wet. Way too wet. Maybe 6 scoops and we'll be all right. Yeah, there we go, that's that mixed up. I'm not bothered about washing up. You guys probably ain't either because you're probably never going to do this, but if you were, fill another bucket with water and you'll be fine. So that's that mixed up, that can stay there. Right, now we have, here we go then. Let's get this on the wall. So, in order to plaster, guys, you're going to need a hawk, something like this, and a trowel. And all we want to do is, let me just show you once it's on the board. Let me just cut to the chase and show you on the board. We're also going to want these in here at some point, and I better just clear up the patio. To help yourself, you want to help yourself with this plastering, minimise airflow. Air will make moisture evaporate, and you want to turn off your heating. The last thing you want is heat while you're trying to plaster. Like this. Look how good this DJI is, hyperlapse. And then it's going to slowly pan back towards us. But we got to be quick because our plaster is going off, guys. So take our trowel, bang that on there. And then you can just sit your bucket trowel on there like that. Really, you want to be tipping that to 90 degrees and taking it off. But if you want to practice doing stuff like this, you can just up and then keep your wrist flat. That is the important bit, yeah? And just go. Ta-da! Look, you can pick that off there like that. And then once that's on the wall, then you can worry about laying that off flat, yeah? No one says that you have to do that. Obviously that is what we do for speed when we plaster. Because quite clearly, don't know what happened then, but for some reason you guys decided to stop recording. So yeah, you get a little hole like that, don't panic. And then just keep cleaning your trowel like that. Oh, I've possibly got too much in here, but here we go. Oh no, what are we going to do with this next bit? And also guys, note, I keep my tools in my hand at all times. I just put that behind there and then I pick that up. I'm not putting things down, I'm not transferring everything, I'm not making things messy. So we now need to get there. How are we going to do that? Because now we need it on this back side. Well, that's easy. Turn your trowel around the other way. I can feel you guys slipping. Right, instead of like going, we need to go, look at that. And then you push that in the corner. And then just where I feel like I need to top up, I'm just going to top up. Right. That has not quite covered everything, but that's probably covered enough. Always clean that board up. Then you can put your cork down somewhere where you don't need it. Now, starting at this side. Now once it's all on, now I start to think about how can I get it flatter. But until it's all on, you don't need to worry about getting it all flat. Right, let's let that pull in slightly. Right then guys, welcome back. I've sort of finished with the 12 inch, the 11 inch, whatever that is. And I've now got this big flatter one. If I go up here and just touch, you see how my fingers are being left prints in? That's too wet. But it's not too wet for us to take a brush and some H20 and just clean up our edges. It's the last thing we want to do is have dirty edges. So look, if we just do this, it just allows that to run down there. Hopefully this here will then all flatten off. Don't really want to wet this, but I think I'm going to wet this. And we're just going to give this one big. See how that's going flat, guys? This is not all we're going to do to that, but if that was all we've done to that, we should be pretty good with that like that. We're going to let that pull in some more. I think, yeah, we've still got some playable stuff in the bottom. We'll just go over it again with a bit bigger pass and we'll make it look pretty. All right then guys, so we're still here. I'm just going to touch this. You see this? Still too wet. It's close, but it's still too wet. You can't be leaving fingerprints like that. You want to be leaving quite literally like sticky fingerprints like that, like you've been touching glass. So that is still too wet. Right then guys, we should be recording now. Without further delay, let's try out. Let's put this microphone on here. See what happens when I do this. Fingers crossed, you should now hear me loud and clear. Right guys, so now that we have our unit out of its package on, we now need to work out. So overall is 1 meter. So is what I do now, using my pencil, in my pooch. We're gonna give it a sharpen. So actually, for context, you're now on the DJI Action 5, the old school GoPro Hero 11. It's been good to me, but I'm constantly having to put this mod onto the camera and then set up this, whereas DJI to DJI links straight away, real smooth. And the front facing camera on this DJI is amazing. So shout out to DJI. They do some awesome products, but back to today's video. So to work out my spacing, I mark here on my tape, my ends. See the pencil mark? And then up here, got the pencil mark. Right then guys, so getting up on the hop up. I know that if I go here, this is going to be the edge. And holding that on there. I'm not dropping my pencil. Oh, another thing that I'd just like to point out is you see where this is laying darker? This is where it is laying wet. And where this is nice and white, or pink they call it, this is dry. So let me just explain to you something. So the reason builders, plasterers ask you guys to wait until the room is dry before you paint, or painter and decorators are like, sorry love, sorry mate, I can't come back. The walls are too wet. Reason being, if that lays wet, the moisture from this is only going to lay in the paint, equaling wet paint, and it won't dry. But what will happen is the paint on the surface will evaporate and will dry. But because the wall's not dry, it won't bond to anything. And you'll go like that, and no bare plaster again. And that is also why, even when it is pink and it's super dry, they like you to 50-50 or maybe 20-80, 20% water, 80% paint. They like you to water down the paint just so that the extra dryness in this doesn't dry the paint too quick and again turns to chalk and blows away. That is some key information that I can tell you upon plaster. Right guys, we now need to pick a level. So then guys, for most of you, you're probably just going to get your normal DIY level out and you're just going to go strike. You're going to go strike. Just like that. And now, I now have my very end points where I can now fix. Let's turn your attention down here to me. So take your bag now of bits. You want to find your wall plates or your wall mounting brackets, whatever you want to call them. These are just the plates that go on the wall, and they go on the wall like so, and then the cabinet comes along and hooks on the back. So now then, in fact, let's see if I can mount you on my shoulder and we'll give you a much better view. Right then guys, let's strap you on my shoulder, get you up there nicely, and hopefully I can give you a much better view of what we're trying to do with these brackets. So we have our line here, we have our line here, and all we want to do is get this other one. Right, I am now then going to deliberately show you if we really we could be, say that far out if we wanted to be, but I don't think we do want to be. Now that that is there and in position, we're going to sort out our little hooks. So in here, we're going to have some bits. There we go. Watch this, guys. See all that come out? By extending those out as far as we can, we make life far easier for us to be hooking this on. One last quick tip. Before you actually lift it up, empty all of these bits out. Shout out to Howdens for sorting me out this. Now, again, when it comes to testing these, pull forwards, not down. Because if you pull down and that suddenly goes, you've then got a great big thing to catch. So now is all I need to do is, I'm going to use this just for simplicity. So now then, that one's looking pretty good. Just need to pull this one in a touch more. There we go. That bad boy is now on the wall and it's now going nowhere. Next on the agenda, 4 doors. Actually, let's put these shelves in. Here's a good tip for when it comes to these shelves. So with those ones, leave quite a good gap. And then when it comes to the smaller gaps, make the smaller gaps the bottom ones. I'm kind of thinking maybe this shoulder mount is not the one, because I believe, I don't know, because I've not seen the footage, because I'm obviously still recording this, but I believe you're probably twisting with my shoulder. So I'll have to check out the footage, and I apologise if it's not turned out very well. Right, so making sure your arrow points to the direction of your door. So we'll go for here. Now then this. Ta-da. I don't know whether this footage on my shoulder is going to come out any good, but I can imagine I'm spinning you guys everywhere. Now these ones are slightly posher. These ones come with all of this, so we can just do ta-da, followed by ta-da, followed by ta-da, followed by ta-da. And then guys, I don't know where I put them, but I've definitely got some handles. Definitely got 4 candles somewhere for this. As promised, 4 candles, 2 handles. I feel like I might bring this out quite recently. I might make this a good little nice close lead up to Christmas series. Are you guys set for Christmas? Let me know in the comments. Today is the 4th of December. I never understand why there's so many of these bolts, but I'll tell you what it is. Marginally, there's long ones and short ones. You guys see that? Probably can like that. But yeah, it's just for like short doors, long doors. Right, I suppose I need some yellow tape and a drill bit. Right, now then guys, I have the perfect drill bits. Quick snappy bits. What do we want? Well, I didn't get any tape, did I? This one is probably the exact, no, tiny. This one, yeah, that's the one we want. Right, let's use this laser. There we go. Let's use Chubby's Carpenter's pencil. I'm gonna come 50mm that way, and I'm gonna come 50mm that way, and then literally 50mm, exactly where they dissect. Bosh. And always remember to check behind. And then this next bit is relatively easy. So once that gets on there, started, I'll leave that there for the moment. Get another short screw. This next bit is easy. So leaving them loose, I like to just come here and do that around. And then I can come here and do that round. And then I can get my tape and go fiddy. And this way I can come get my tape and go fiddy. And then all that's left is to just do this. Always pull your doors out, guys, because if you don't, and there's something behind it, it's going to be an expensive day for you. You should always tape these up. That would stop this splintering. Now I should lead by example, shouldn't I? And I should make a better job. But it is currently 9 o'clock at night, and we've basically done all of this near enough in one day. Yeah, it's been a long day. Let's do this up. Let's do this one up. Now then, let's do this one up. And let's do this one up. There we go, guys. What do you think? So we now have a load bearing cupboard on the wall. Give it till tomorrow and that'll be filled with rubbish. Right then guys, that is the end of this episode. The cupboard is now fully on the wall. We can now load it up, and without further ado, it's time to get a reel, and I'll see you back inside. Thanks for watching. Play the music.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, slow till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let.
If there's anything like this cupboard that you'd love to see me do in this workshop, whether you'd love me to explain radiators, whether you'd love me to explain kitchen worktops, whatever you'd love me to explain or try and have a go at doing in this workshop, drop your comments below and thoughts below what you'd love to learn as DIYers. Anything you guys want to learn, and I'll try and put it into practice. I think I'm going to do a loft hatch in the house. I've got an understairs cupboard coming up in the house. I've got cutting down doors for customers. I've got all sorts of content coming up, guys. Pretty please subscribe. Turn on the bell notification so you get notifications when I go live and uploads on Monday, Wednesday and Friday.